What's up, everybody? I'm here to do my UFC 111 predictions for the George St. Pierre versus Dan Hardy fight. Now I'm starting from the first fight of the night and going up. First fight of the night. Alright. First fight, Jim Miller versus Mark Bocek. Jim Miller, really good wrestler, good boxer. Mark Bocek, good jiu-jitsu guy. Has a couple wins by submission. His last one was with Joe Brammer back at Tough 10. I don't know, I have it written down, but anyway, he got a win over he got a submission by rear naked choke. Jim Miller, he submitted Dwayne Ludwig back at 108. So in this fight, it will go. I think it will go to the ground for Jim Miller taking a shot and getting Mark Bocek on the ground. But I think that Mark Bocek isn't going to be able to control the fight once it goes to the ground, because I think that Jim Miller is a really good kind of a better he knows grappling to not get caught in a submission. So. And he's probably can hold himself out of there. So I think he just pound him out on the ground and just get away with a unanimous decision. Next fight, Jon Fitch versus Ben Saunders. It was supposed to be Jon Fitch versus Thiago Alves, but earlier in the day, Thiago Alves had a failed CAT scan or CT scan or whatever they're called. I don't know what it is, but he failed it, I guess. So the doctor says he can't fight. So Jake Ellenberger, I think he gave a spot to Jon Fitch, and then so Jon Fitch would step in for Jake Ellenberger so he could fight Ben Saunders. So now he's fighting him tomorrow, Saturday. Jon Fitch, his fighter, wrestler coming out of Purdue, good wrestling, okay boxing, and. He's coming off of a win, a unanimous decision win over Mike Pierce back at 107. Yeah. And that fight, what am I talking about? I didn't see it. Anyway, Ben Saunders, he coming off a good first-round knockout over Marcus Davis. He's a good Muay Thai guy, good jiu-jitsu. I believe his only loss in the UFC was to Mike Swick. I think that's it. But anyway, Ben Saunders in this fight, he can get to I think he can get to the clinch and try and beat him up with the knees, but it's gonna take more than knees and elbows to beat Jon Fitch in this fight, because he's looking for that title shot. And if he does do the knees, I think that Jon Fitch will catch him, take him to the ground, and just hold him down. And Ben Saunders is gonna try and work his jiu-jitsu, but I think that again that Jon Fitch is a good enough grappler to know how to get out of submission attempts and how to not get caught. But anything could happen, especially Ben Saunders. With his jiu-jitsu, he can catch some people. But I think Jon Fitch is going to ride this one out on another unanimous decision. The next fight, Kurt Pellegrino versus Fabricio Camoes. Camoes, he came off of a draw with Cal Uno. He has good submissions. He's coming off a couple submission wins from a couple fights before that. Because before the draw, he was like 4-0 in those 4 fights. But anyway, Kurt Pellegrino, he's, from what I hear, he's working with a new, a new strength conditioning coach, I guess. So now, hopefully we'll be able to see more conditioning out of him. But him, another good guy. He's 4-1 in his last 5 fights. He lost to Nate Diaz, and he's coming off a submission win, I think. Oh no, unanimous decision win over Josh Neer. In this fight, I don't really know. I haven't really seen a lot of Camoes or Pellegrino. So, from what I hear, I guess Pellegrino's a better boxer and a better grappler. well, not enough to know, what to do. And from what I hear, I guess he's a good wrestler, so I think he'll be able to pound him out, take him down, pound him out on the ground, and get a second round TKO. That's it. Now to the co-main event for the interim heavyweight title between Frank Mir and Shane Carwin. Frank Mir, he's holding the title right now. He got it from Nogueira. He's coming off of a submission win over Czech Congo, back at 107 again, and he easily beat Czech Congo because Czech Congo is like a one-dimensional fighter. He goes he went in, hit him a couple times, took him down, and got an easy guillotine, which took him out. And for Shane Carwin, he's coming off a good knockout over Gabriel Gonzaga, his first round knockout. And we know Gabriel Gonzaga is a really good guy, but it's kind of slipping up a little bit. But anyway, in this fight, it could go either way. Shane Carwin can take Frank Mir down, pound him out, and then get a TKO win maybe in the fourth round or third round. But again, Frank Mir, good kicks from for a while. He had good submissions, but he still does. And I think that this one, he says he's bulking up, but he needs, like, for big people like me. When I was wrestling, I knew how to try and work my weight around with other wrestlers that were bigger and stronger than me, but I think you have to be able to carry that weight around really good in order to use it against somebody. So in this fight, I think he's gonna be able to. He might, he might not be, as good as or fast as we think he was. And I think that Shane Carwin would, take him down and then pound him out. So I'm gonna go with Shane Carwin, fourth round TKO. And now to the main event for the welterweight championship of the UFC between GSP and Dan Hardy. GSP, really good wrestling, good boxing. He's coming out for the unanimous decision win over Thiago Alves back at UFC 100. And as for Dan Hardy, really good knockout power. He's coming off of the knockout, I think, over the decision over Mike Swick. And in this fight, a lot of people say that Dan Hardy isn't going to have that much of a chance, which I kind of agree because GSP's boxing is better than Dan Hardy's, and Dan Hardy doesn't really have that much good wrestling, and he doesn't really have a good ground game from what I've seen, at least. So, GSP's gonna know what to do. He's gonna go in there, take him down, pound him out. But then I think Dan Hardy will be able to get up to his feet, because Thiago Alves did a couple times. So he's going to be able to get up, then try and swing a little bit, hopefully to get that knockout punch. But I don't know. I think that GSP will beat him on the feet. So I'm gonna go. I don't say this is gonna be a decision because it's not really a good matchup for Dan Hardy, but I'm gonna say probably if it goes to the ground, maybe, I don't know, maybe a submission, but not really. We haven't really seen those since the Matt Hughes fight, the first one at least. But I'm gonna say fifth round TKO, I guess. He's probably just gonna tire him out and then finally go in for the kill to finish him off. Probably drop him and finish him. But it wouldn't surprise me if Dan Hardy not dropped GSP, because he has the power to knock out almost anybody. So those are my picks for UFC 111. Some quick shout outs, Evan from our MMA Insight, and the MMA Professor for helping me make this video. Later, guys.